on the workbench. Today we're going to be building a project here to be able to use these Ikea Trofast containers to be able to make a piece of furniture for inside the house that we can use to be able to store some of my child's toys in. So these Trofast containers are purchased from Ikea. The lids actually come separate from it. But what's neat about these is so there's these half depth ones that are all the same width. You can see how these all stack up. That was nice and narrow. You see there's some deep ones at the bottom, some shallower ones up there. So there's 3 different styles. They actually sell a few more, but these all have a lot of common characteristics of the width. And so what we're going to be doing is building a custom structure to be able to put these in. That also includes a little bit of a bookshelf and a nice mantle display piece for our house. And so to do that, I've got a piece of clear pine. That's going to be for our baseboard trim. And then in this case here, rather than gluing up the panels that I needed, I just went out and bought some edge glued panels that were already pre-sanded to make the process go a little bit quicker. The top panel here is a little bit wider. And then I also have a piece of crown molding I'm going to be able to use across the top. This is a piece of dental molding. My wife and I actually like the dental molding. I know it's not everyone's flavor, but we just kind of like the look. Substitute different pattern and dimensions if you prefer. And so now it's time to get started. So here's a rough look at the concept. It's a little bit taller, I think, than what it'll turn out to be. I got the rest of my Trofast bends here, and now it's a matter of lining up the dados, because each of these is going to slide into a small dado groove on each of these panels. These Trofast bends are 11 3/4 deep. These panels which are edge glued are 12 inches deep, which is why I had to go with the edge glued panels. And so once I get this lined up and get it marked out, then it'll just be a massive run of dado stacks on my table saw. With all the wood cut to length and the proper size, I've got all my dados cut for the bends to go in. I've got the stain on now, and then now after the stain sets, I'm using Minwax poly shades. We'll have to check on that, and then we can move on to assembly. Our next quick update on this project is I've been using a bit of this Poly Shades Mission Oak Satin finish, and I've got my materials here finished, the cut, the dadoed. You can see here's a couple examples of these Ikea drawers as they just slide in and out on these dados. And then I also added a piece of crown molding here across the top. You come down here so you can see that. So you have almost kind of like a faux mantle cross up here. And then I just put this in place with a couple brad nails. So this will be added what's essentially like a mantle, because my house doesn't actually have a fireplace now, and my wife has been wanting someplace to put knickknacks that we used to put up on our mantle in our old house, and so I think that'll serve the purpose very nicely. Got the other drawers that go in there, and I'm going to be adding a bookshelf here. So I've got one last bit of sanding here going. Put that in, tack on the back, and then we'll be good to go. So I'll come back and I'll show you that when I'm all done. Alright, so here's the finished product here. We got all the containers in the shelf. We got some knickknacks on the top here. We got the bookshelves on either side. So we got space to be able to store my daughter's French books. These are extra tall to be able to fit full sheets of music, as my wife is a musician. Just for reference, beside these children's books, we can also find this sheet music book. And you can see, just for size reference here, here's the sheet music book in the bookshelf, for the reason why I had to make the size that I did. It also keeps what's up on top out of reach of my daughter, so that we can keep those nice things safe. And so our containers slide in and out. There's a little bit of, as the expansion contraction, the wood has changed, but they still work pretty well. You can slide in and out with relative ease. And with the crown molding, it looks like it fits in pretty well. One little hiccup was trying to get things right. Unfortunately, just a little installation here. This is slightly longer than the wall. Then on the back, I've got this tied down, where I've got this bolted into the stud, and then it comes back over my back panel, and then goes down and then up for the tie-in to make sure that this doesn't tip, so that my daughter doesn't tip it over on herself. And so this is the finished product with the finish on it after a little bit of use, and it seems to be working great, holding toys and keeping the living room clean. So if you're interested in building something like this, you can start with those Trofast bins from Ikea. Be creative and come up with your own design. Hope you found this useful and have a great day. Bye.